Hey, my content's for educational purposes only. Can't stress enough for you guys to do your own research. Praise my content, throw in the errors you find in the comments. None of us have been alive long enough to know all that transpired in the past, and none of us can live long enough to know all there is to learn. Hey man, I'm gonna talk to y'all tonight about, you know, something that I think y'all can get some benefit and or value from. Um, you know, matter of fact, let me go ahead and change my parking spot real fast. First, I'm down at the job. So let me go ahead and position myself so that way I can get comfortable. All right. It's gonna come a point in everybody's life. There should come a point in every adult male or female's life where you get tired of certain things, man. Noticing things and pushing it off to the side burner or whatever the case. You know, and you know, just being aware of the surroundings, your surroundings energetically. You know, this is you know, this is gonna teeter on the line of spiritual, you know, talk and just basic life skills, you know, on an adult level. You know, one thing about, you know, life is this. This is something that I tell my daughter. You know, at some point, man, you have to take your life serious, because if you don't, you know, the things that you fail to materialize in your life, you know, you're not going to have anybody to blame but the person you see in the mirror. Not only that, part of taking your life serious and taking control of your life is having the discernment to know when it's time to pull back your energy. You know, some of us have plans with our life, for our life. Some of us see ourselves doing certain things, and making certain accomplishments. And materializing the thoughts and ideas that we have for our life. Thing about that is, again, on an energetic level, you know, what I've been learning is that sometimes, man, you know, you just have to do what you have to do for you. You know, because the way, you know, a lot of people in today's world, you know, they you know, it's not about reciprocation. See, I'm about reciprocation. I'm willing to give everything I require from a person on whatever level. And sometimes, man, when you see that things aren't reciprocal, you have to have the maturity to just, recognize it, deal with it for what it's worth, and according to what it's worth. Because sometimes, man, the energies that you allow yourself to be surrounded by can hold you back, slow you down, and weigh you down. It's up to any individual, once they get the inclination of what was just depicted, how they deal with that. I'm just like, once I see a thing and I'm able to identify it, I always analyze it and check my own consciousness to make sure that the decisions that I'm preparing to make are, number one, correct. Number two, are going to be the best or the most beneficial move for me to make on a personal level. And another thing that I realized, man, is that, you're going to die the same way you was born, alone. And especially if you're fortunate enough to realize that anything that you envision yourself doing in life, that you're able to do it on your own. That's actually a plus, a benefit. That is a strength. May not always feel good going through the process, but the end game and the end goal, or the checkmate, it'll always be worth it. So with that being stated, man, I just want to encourage everybody, man, that may be facing that type of situation for the first time in their life, and they're second guessing themselves, which leads me to intuition. Some of us have a more heightened intuition than others, but at the end of the day, all of us have an intuition. That inner voice, that maybe you don't even hear the voice. You hear the it's like reading a book, that thought. It's almost like, when you're reading, you don't necessarily hear the words, but you hear the words, if that's making sense. Or, that, like I always refer to it as an inner nudge. Something to tell you, yo, pay attention to that. Did you just see that? This is a within voice, or a thought. It comes to all of us in different ways, but something internal, for whatever reason, makes you pay extra attention to certain things. My advice as it comes to that, man, or as it relates to that, is don't ignore that. In my experience, man, and I'm going all the way back to my childhood with it. Whenever I ignored that inner voice or those nudges, I found myself in a less than desirable circumstance, or situation as a result of ignoring it. So I no longer do that. You know what I mean? Bottom line is, man, everything that may be for another person may not be for me. And I understand that. And I'm cool with that. You know, for a lot of reasons. It eliminates any potential for envy, jealousy, or hate based on what another individual is doing or has achieved in his or her life outside of mine. But it also keeps me grounded and within myself. And what I mean by that is that I'm always focused on what it is I need to do for my individual circumstances in my individual life. I've gotten to the point where, as though I really don't feel the need to explain myself anymore. Because unless I'm talking to my 12-year-old, because outside of that, we all adults. And we all got to learn our lessons individually. Very communicative, but again, like I said, once I see a thing for what it is, what do you expect out of me? Because I'm not, the time for me to be stressed out over anything that's beyond my control, them days been over. Dig? And certain things just are behind me now, when it comes to explaining things. Because especially when people only understand based off their level of perception. Then actions is what's best to listen to. Some people only hear certain things you say. Some people only hear what they want to hear. Some people only listen to respond instead of understand. And then some people don't give a fuck what you got to say. They just want what they want. So, I always try to keep my focus on me, because at the end of the day, I'm the only person I can control, and that I have done, and do it well at this point. A lot of things that we tend to worry about are an absolute waste of time, because a lot of the things that we may think will happen tend to never happen. Don't let your mind run wild with itself. It requires supervision, because your mind can, actually absolutely have a mind of its own and have you looking at things totally off point, because also, man, especially us men, we definitely have to develop a level of emotional intelligence, man, to be able to process things in a rational state of mind, as opposed to falling into any low vibrational emotions and acting out of those emotions. You know, it's just, man, that I just noticed that, man, it's not a lot of people have pure intentions, man. Not a lot of people are willing to give what they get. And not a lot of people really give a fuck until it has something to do with them. So, how you guys choose to deal with that once you realize it, it's up to y'all. But I know how I'm dealing with it. But be aware, man, of the energies you allow to surround yourself, or that you surround yourself with. And if things aren't in alignment, then just do what you got to do for you, man. You know what I mean? We was all individually born with everything we need to do whatever it is we set our minds to. We're also all the sole authors, as I've once said before, of our existence in our life. I can't point the finger at nobody else for the way my life looked today. Neither can none of y'all. Your life is only what it is based off the decisions that you decided to make and the actions you decided to take. Or not. But I just see things a different way, man. And I wanted to just make a short video about some of these subjects as it relates to different relationships we have. You got family relationships, you got all types of relationships, man. It don't have to be a relationship between the opposite sex in a romantic way at all. I just like I said, man, I'm big on reciprocity, man. I my definition, and I actually, it made a lot of sense to me. I got this. I kind of like incorporated this from when I heard it from Brother Polite. He said friendship to him meant that, okay, a friendship to him was somebody that he was willing to invest in, and that same individual be willing to invest in him in return. And somewhere in the midst of that, reciprocity takes place, where both individuals benefit to whatever degree. The degree isn't important, because everything's not always going to be a equal and or an even exchange, but both individuals need to be happy walking away from said exchange. And after analyzing that statement, man, I chose to incorporate that and stand on that. When it comes to anybody I declare a friend, I'm not the kind of person that throws these types of things out there, casually. And this is why I live the way I live, because I'm not going to disappoint me. I'm not going to do me wrong. I'm not going, be shady with myself. I'm not going to be dishonest or disloyal or deceitful with myself. So, The rest of it should be self-explanatory. You also have to listen to what a motherfucker don't say. Because, I don't know, man. To simplify it, man, and hurry up and get up off this video, man, just, situational awareness is more than just, being aware of your surroundings when you're out in the world, paying attention to the subtleties and the small things. That's universal as far as life is concerned. Your interactions, your affiliations, all of that, man. So, at the end of the day, man, do not allow yourself to be misused. I feel like we're all here to be used in some shape, form, or fashion, but not to be misused. In the moment you realize that you're being misused, eradicate that. And for anybody that may be watching this video, man, that feels as though, well, man, I got to, I can't do this because I need, whatever you tell yourself is your reality, man. You know what I mean? I can only, stay true to what mine is for me. So, with that being stated, man, y'all be safe. Pay attention to how you feel when you're around individuals, man, because your body's going to tell you, if you're paying attention. You have to be consciously aware, and keep in mind, man, if you want to be more in tune with yourself, man, learn about your chakras and do whatever you feel is necessary to balance them, because that will allow for your awareness to be heightened. Because when you're aligned and your chakras are aligned, then you're basically one with nature and the universe. You know what I mean? And more than likely, either close to being balanced or having already balanced out the feminine energies within you. And I'm talking to the men when I say that. And for the women, being in tune or having balanced out the masculine energy within you. Too much of anything ain't no good. You can't be too much into your masculine energy, and it's not good to be too much into your feminine energy, depending on what's going on. Know thyself. Because, when you get to the point when you know thyself, it's easier to know other people. Because on the energetic level, everything is connected. On the energetic level, we're all parts of the whole. Again, they always, we souls having a human experience. Spiritual beings having a human experience. So in the process of mastering oneself, controlling your appetites and desires, as opposed to allowing them to control and dictate your behavior, you ahead of the game if you're at that level. Because once you're in control of yourself, it's just like a crane. One of the people that taught me the cranes, Said that, man, the main problem you're going to have is catching that swing. When you move the lever, the block's going to move. And if you let it sit, it's going to end up swinging one of two ways, either side to side or front and back. It may even end up swinging in a circle sometimes. You got to know how to make that thing stop. You got to know how to control that. Because if you can't control the swing, you can't control the crane. So that to me is a universal methodology whereby if you can't control your urges and appetites, then you can't control yourself. Most importantly, your emotions. If you're not able to, or you haven't gotten to the level whereby you can process, you can digest, process, analyze those emotions while feeling the effects of such said emotions, and then let it go once you've extracted whatever you feel that it was meant to teach you from going through whatever situation that brought on those emotions, then it's no need to continue to allow the emotional effects to invade your physical, because it will. Emotions have physiological effects on the body. So, like I said, man, be aware, stay on point, and make a plan, man. That's the thing, man. All the mistakes I made has taught me this one thing. If you don't make a plan for your life, you lack aim, direction, and purpose for your life. And without a plan, it's like rolling the dice. Maybe I'll, realize my dreams, my objectives and my plans, or maybe I won't, So, I know I said I was about to dismount once before, but I'm about to really do it now. So, hopefully this was beneficial to somebody. Not that I think that none of y'all knew these things, but it was just something that I felt the need to speak on. And it's possible that somebody needed to hear this. So with that being stated, y'all be safe, stay aware, stay conscious, and I'll catch y'all on the next one.